The call from the stars. The emergency transmission cut through the usual communications chatter aboard the Earth Alliance vessel Hyperion like a knife. Captain Maya Chen straightened in her command chair, dark eyes narrowing as the message played for the third time. This is High Chancellor Vexiler of the Galactic Conclave. Our defensive perimeter at Outpost Zenith is failing. The Void Collective advances unchecked. We require immediate assistance from any vessels within range. This is our final transmission before evacuation protocols. The message dissolved into static. Captain Chen exchanged glances with her executive officer, Commander Darius Wade. Location? She asked. Proxima Centauri Relay picked it up. Wade replied, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Origin point is approximately 2.3 light-years from our current position. We're the closest EA vessel. Chen nodded, decision already made. Alert the crew. Set course for the coordinates. Maximum burn. Captain. Wade hesitated. This appears to be a first contact situation. Protocol dictates. Protocol dictates we answer distress calls. Commander. Chen cut in. Whoever these conclave people are, they're in trouble. That's all I need to know. The Hyperion's engines roared to life, accelerating the vessel to speeds that would have liquefied most known sentient species in the galaxy. The crew, however, barely noticed the G-forces. Humans had evolved on a world with crushing gravity, extreme temperature variations, and an atmosphere that would be toxic to many alien species. What they considered normal would be fatal to most. They didn't know it yet, but that's exactly why the Conclave's message had reached them. 12 hours into their journey, sensors detected an approaching vessel. The ship was unlike anything in Earth's database, a crystalline structure that seemed to flow rather than fly through space, changing shape subtly as it moved. They're hailing us, Communications Officer Anaya Patil announced. On screen, Chen ordered. The bridge view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that appeared to be made of translucent blue tissue. Its body pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, and multiple sensory appendages quivered as it regarded the human bridge crew. Earth vessel, the alien spoke, its words translated through the ship's eye. I am Ambassador Tilzin of the Galactic Conclave. Your response to our distress call was unexpected. Chen stood. Captain Maya Chen of the Earth Alliance vessel Hyperion. We received your transmission and have come to render assistance. The alien's appendages trembled more violently. Just one ship. We were closest. More can be dispatched if needed. Ambassador Tulzin's body rippled in what might have been the equivalent of a shudder. Our scanners indicate your vessel maintains internal conditions matching those of your homeworld. How is this possible? Such an environment would be immediately fatal to most conclave species. Chen and Wade exchanged puzzled glances. These are standard conditions for human habitation, Chen explained. Earth normal atmosphere, temperature, and gravity. Earth normal. The ambassador's translator couldn't quite capture the mixture of awe and horror in his tone. You are from Class 12 Deathworld designation Sol 3. We call it Earth, Wade interjected, and I wouldn't exactly call it a death world. Your species evolved on a planet with twice standard gravity, temperature fluctuations that would kill most sentient beings, toxic oxygen atmosphere, lethal solar radiation, and apex predators that hunt by exhaustion. You are Deathworlders. The bridge crew fell silent as they processed this information. Humans had never considered themselves particularly hardy. They'd simply adapted to Earth's conditions over millions of years of evolution. Perhaps, Chen suggested carefully, we should exchange environmental data before meeting in person. The conversation that followed shocked both sides. Humans learned they breathed what many species considered corrosive gas. Their planet's gravity would crush most visitors. Even mild Earth weather was considered catastrophic elsewhere in the galaxy. No wonder they're frightened of us, Patel whispered. The ambassador transmitted technical specifications about the threat they would face. The Void Collective, a swarm intelligence composed of billions of nanomachines that consumed all matter in their path, converting it to energy and more of themselves. They had already destroyed 7 conclave worlds. They adapt quickly, Chen noted, studying the data. But they follow patterns. Perfect patterns, Tulzin corrected. They calculate the mathematically optimal response to any standard defense. They are perfect. Chen smiled slightly. Then we won't be standard. Humans rarely are. As they approached the Proxima Centauri system, the Hyperion received coordinates to rendezvous with the Conclave Defense Fleet. The massive alien vessels dwarfed the human ship, their crystalline structures glittering against the backdrop of space. Captain Chen led a small delegation to the Conclave flagship. They found themselves in a specially prepared chamber behind transparent barriers. Beyond stood a collection of aliens more diverse than humans had imagined possible. Some gaseous, others crystalline, a few seemingly composed of pure energy. An ancient being with flowing tendrils approached the barrier. "I am High Chancellor Vexilor." The alien introduced itself through a translator. "We thank you for your swift response, though I must warn you, the Void Collective has never been defeated." Chen nodded respectfully. "There's a first time for everything, Chancellor. That's something humans understand very well." The gathered aliens watched in silence, wondering if these strange beings from a death world might achieve what seemed impossible. "Tell us everything about your enemy," Chen requested, and the briefing began. The Void Collective operated with perfect mathematical precision. They analyzed defensive patterns, calculated optimal countermeasures, and adapted their tactics accordingly. They were relentless, emotionless, and utterly predictable in their pursuit of efficiency. "They move like water," explained the Conclave's military advisor, a crystalline being named Kurizaks, finding the path of least resistance, flowing around obstacles, overwhelming through sheer numbers. "And your defense strategies?" asked Commander Wade. "Logical formations, mathematical precision, resource optimization." Kurizak's crystal facets dimmed. All failed. Security Chief Raymond Diaz leaned forward. "So you've been fighting an enemy that excels at mathematical precision, with mathematical precision." The Conclave representatives stared at him in confusion. "What else would we use?" asked Kurizaks. Diaz grinned. "Chaos." The human delegation returned to the Hyperion with Conclave data and a plan forming. As Chen gathered her senior officers in the tactical room, she knew they had one advantage. Humans thrived in chaos. "The Void Collective expects logical responses," she explained. "So we'll give them illogical ones. They calculate perfect patterns, so we'll use imperfect ones." "They've never faced Deathworlders before," Wade added with a smile. Chen nodded, "and they're about to learn why that's a problem." The Hyperion moved into position alongside the Conclave fleet. Outpost Zenith hung in space before them, a massive structure housing millions of refugees from worlds already consumed by the Collective. "Void swarm detected," announced Tactical Officer Lai Wei. 3 million individual units approaching from Vector 227. On the view screen, the swarm appeared like a black cloud, moving with unsettling symmetry. "Open channel to Conclave Command," Chen ordered. When Vexilor's image appeared, she continued, "Chancellor, we're going to need your fleet to follow our lead. Your single vessel against 3 million collective units." The Chancellor's tendrils writhed in distress. "What can you possibly?" "Trust us," Chen interrupted. "Deathworlders have a few tricks you haven't tried." She turned to her crew. "Let's show them how humans fight." Deathworlders unleashed. The Void Collective approached with perfect geometric precision, a dark cloud of nanomachines arranged in a mathematically optimal attack formation. The Conclave fleet hovered in defensive positions, their crystalline vessels shimmering with energy shields. And then there was the Hyperion, a single human ship that seemed impossibly small against the encroaching darkness. Inside the Hyperion's tactical room, Captain Chen addressed her team and the holographic representatives of the Conclave's military command. The collective adapts to patterns, Chen explained, so we won't give them any. She gestured to Chief Engineer Kazuo Tanaka, who stepped forward with a triumphant smile. We've analyzed your data on the collective's communication frequencies, Tanaka began. They coordinate using quantum entanglement, instantaneous transmissions that can't be jammed by conventional means. We've tried disrupting their network, the crystalline Kirizax replied. It's impossible. Not impossible, Tanaka corrected. Just requires thinking like a Deathworlder. We don't need to jam them. We need to confuse them. He activated a holographic display showing a device of Earth design. This is an entropy generator. It doesn't block their communications. It floods them with random noise derived from quantum vacuum fluctuations. Randomness. Kirizax's facets darkened in confusion. How does that help? Security Chief Dias laughed. The collective relies on perfect mathematical models. This introduces something they can't. True unpredictability. The conclave representatives stared in bewilderment. Using disorder as a weapon was a concept alien to their logical minds. Yet they had exhausted all conventional options. Your tactics are disturbing, Vexilor admitted, but we will follow your lead. The battle began with what appeared to be a catastrophic failure. The Hyperion's engines suddenly flared and died, leaving the vessel drifting erratically toward the Void Collective swarm. The Conclave command erupted in panic. What are they doing? Kirizax demanded. The human ship is malfunctioning. Aboard the Hyperion, however, every system was functioning exactly as planned. Deploy entropy generators, Chen ordered calmly. From the seemingly dead ship, hundreds of small drones launched in completely random patterns. Each carried an entropy generator calibrated to a different frequency. Activate on my mark, Chen commanded. She waited until the swarm began to envelop the drones, calculating their optimal consumption pattern. Now, the generators activated simultaneously. To the naked eye, nothing seemed to happen. But within the collective's shared consciousness, chaos erupted. Their perfect mathematical precision dissolved into confusion as random signals flooded their network. Conclave Fleet, Chen broadcast. Attack pattern Human Alpha. The alien vessels hesitated, then moved according to the unpredictable pattern Chen had shared. A formation based not on mathematical optimization, but on the seemingly random movements of Earth's flocking birds. The Void Collective attempted to adapt, calculating new probabilities, but the entropy generators continued pumping quantum randomness into their systems. For the first time in their existence, they couldn't predict their enemy's next move. They're fragmenting, reported Tactical Officer Lai. Swarm cohesion dropping to 67%. Phase 2, Chen ordered. The Hyperion's engines suddenly roared back to life, and the ship accelerated directly into the heart of the confused swarm. Conclave observers watched in horror as the human vessel disappeared into the black cloud. What are they doing? Gasped Vexilor. It's suicide. Within the swarm, the Hyperion deployed its secret weapon, a modified terraforming catalyst the humans had developed for hostile environments. It worked by rapidly altering molecular bonds, originally designed to transform uninhabitable planets. Catalyst deployed, announced Engineer Tanaka. Reaction initiating. The nanomachines of the Void Collective began to bond with each other, clumping together in increasingly larger masses. Their perfect synchronization became their downfall as the catalyst spread through their interconnected systems. Pull us out, Chen commanded. The Hyperion burst from the swarm, trailing tendrils of nanomachines that crumbled to dust in its wake. Where the swarm had been, a strange transformation occurred. The billions of nanomachines were fusing together, forming a solid mass that could no longer flow or adapt. They're solidifying, Kirizax observed in astonishment. Dias grinned. Hard to be a swarm when you're a rock. The remaining collective units tried to retreat, but their compromised communication network made coordinated movement impossible. The Conclave Fleet, following the unpredictable human attack patterns, systematically destroyed the disorganized remnants. Within hours, the battle was over. The Void Collective, an enemy that had consumed 7 worlds and never known defeat, had been vanquished by a single human ship and tactics that defied logical analysis. A celebration aboard Outpost Zenith was subdued by alien standards, but enthusiastic in intent. Representatives from dozens of conclave species gathered to honor the human crew, though most maintained a safe distance from the Deathworlders. High Chancellor Vexilor approached the transparent barrier separating them. Captain Chen, the conclave owes you and your crew a debt that cannot be measured. You have saved countless lives today. Chen nodded respectfully. We were just doing what humans do, adapting and overcoming. That is precisely what makes your kind so remarkable, Vexilor responded. For generations, the Conclave has avoided Deathworlds, believing nothing of value could evolve in such hostile conditions. We were wrong. Ambassador Tulzin joined them, body pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that the translator identified as expressions of wonder. You used chaos against order, imperfection against perfection. Such concepts would never occur to Conclave tactical minds. It's not just tactics, Commander Wade explained. It's who we are. Humans evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day. We learned to be unpredictable because that's how we survived. Earth forged us, Chen added. We're the children of a world that never gave us anything easily. We had to fight for every advantage, adapt to every challenge. That's the gift of a death world. It teaches you never to give up. The Conclave representatives absorbed this in thoughtful silence. The Conclave officially extends an invitation to Earth to join our alliance, Vexilor announced finally. Not as subordinates, but as equals. The galaxy needs Deathworlders, it seems. Chen smiled. I believe this is the beginning of a very interesting relationship. As the Hyperion prepared to return to Earth with news of first contact, the crew couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. They had shown the galaxy what humans could do, not despite evolving on a Deathworld, but because of it. In the vastness of space, word spread quickly among the stars. When Deathworlders answer the call, the universe trembles, not in fear, but in hope.